Hello all. Today's video we're going to compare, contrast the Fulton Armory Peerless M1 Garand and a CMP M1 Garand. To start off, a little introduction about myself. My name is Tim Warren. I've been shooting competitive matches with the CMP and NRA for about 2 or 3 years now. I'm one of the leaders of the South Carolina Marine Veterans shooting team. I'm not a world-class shot, but I'm not too bad either, so hopefully I can add a little professionalism to this video that lends a little credence to this comparison. Alright, so first, let's look at a civilian marksmanship program rack grade M1 Garand. Alright, so this is a 1943 to 1945 Springfield Armory M1 Garand from the civilian marksmanship program. The bulk of this gun is Springfield Armory from late World War II. There's a few parts in here that are post-World War II production, but it pretty much is as described. Go through it a little bit. The sights are US GI. Trigger is as well, US GI. Trigger's got a little slack in it, a little play in it, and it's about 6 pounds, roughly. I haven't weighed it yet, but it's 6-ish, maybe 5.5 to 7, but it's a solid trigger. It's not bad. For a 70-year-old rifle, this is good. I've shot a couple Garand matches with it, including a service rifle match. It's not going to finish first in a match, but it definitely will hold its own. You see, CMP, or this rack grade gun has a little movement in the sights, little movement in barrels. The stock has a little bit of movement as well. And the receiver's got a little bit of movement as well. It's a 70-year-old gun. Well maintained for the most part, but a 70-year-old gun. And it does pretty well. I can't explain, I love this gun. It's one of my favorite ones in my safe. Alright, so now let's compare this to the Fulton Armory Peerless M1 Garand. Alright, so this is a straight out of the box Fulton Armory M1 Garand, as stated earlier. I can't find a single flaw in this thing. I've looked. The stock's perfect, the barrel's perfect, the receiver's perfect. This receiver is a Springfield Armory, but everything else on this gun is a Fulton Armory original for the most part. The trigger has a little play that most Garands have, but it hits that first wall, 4 pounds, and it's going. It's very smooth once you hit that wall. It's a great trigger. I like it. I compare it to most of the triggers I've played with on government-issued match guns and my own personal match gun. Look at the sights here. It's got a national match rear sight, national match front sight. There's no play in the sights, no play in the barrel, no play in the stock, no play in the receiver. It's a very good gun. Go take it to the range tomorrow and we're going to see what these two guns can do against each other. Now, tomorrow, when we go to the range, I have a third gun as a control for this experiment. That gun will be my M16A2 variant AR-15 that I use for my own match shooting. It's got a white oak armored barrel, Bushmaster upper and lower receivers, ALG trigger, and national match sights. The reason why I'm using that gun in that experiment with these two as well is so that you all, the viewers, can see that whatever groups I get with these two guns will compare to whatever group I get with a modern day match gun that I am very familiar with. So you can see what my personal shot groups look like compared to what the guns are going to give me. Also, tomorrow we will be shooting Creedmoor 30-06 match rounds. These rounds are designed for Garands, for Garand matches. Shoot Leupold brass. They are 167 grain. And for the M16A2 variant AR-15, we'll be shooting Hornady match 223 Remington, 68 grain. These are the rounds that I shoot matches with. So I have ample of. I've fired both rounds at ranges from 100 to 600 yards with pretty good performance. So let's go see what we can get at the range. All right, here we are at range day. So here's our M1 Garand Peerless model from Fulton Armory, shooting Creedmoor 30-06 rounds. Here's my M16 A2 setup AR-15 for my match shooting. And here's the CMP rat grade M1 Garand, also shooting Creedmoor brass. The AR will be shooting Leupold 68 grain match grade ammo. The target face for today is 100 yard small bore rifle targets. And there they are, all three of them. So, let's see what kind of results we get. Alright, up first is the CMP rat grade M1 Garand. We will be shooting on the left target. Alright, now we're shooting on the center target with the Fulton Armory Peerless M1 Garand. Alright, finally, the match grade AR on the right target. Alright, let's see what kind of results we got. Alright, so here's our control group. I said using the match grade AR with no shooting jacket, no shooting glove, just prone on uneven ground. Had a pretty good group. I mean, it's not anything I'd brag about, and it's definitely not what I'd prefer to do at a match, but got a couple key holes in there, and the group is pretty solid. Now, let's go look at the Fulton Arms group. So, roughly the same as the ARs. We'll take these targets home and we'll measure them, get you exact measurements, but pretty solid group, not bad. You can tell from the video, my natural point of aim kept getting knocked off from the recoil of a 30-06, so something I need to adjust from now on if I'm going to take this gun to a match. I need to start accounting for that a little bit better. And finally, we have the CMP rat grade gun, which the group appears to be a little bit wider than the Fulton Arms, but it's still, if moved a little right and down a little bit, would still be on the black. So the Fulton Arms, without using a bench rest, a vise, shooting jacket, or glove, performs slightly better than the rat grade Garand, and about on par with a modern AR-15 match gun. Now, a few things I will say about the Peerless versus the rat grade. The trigger was noticeably different. The crispness and the 4 pounds exactly pull was great. I definitely could feel the difference when I picked up the rat grade Garand versus the Fulton Arms. The rat grade, you got to put a little more muscle behind it on that trigger pull. Additionally, the sights on the Peerless were very crisp. They're national match sights, so they're tighter than a USGI, and they're also brand new sights, so all the lines are perfectly sharp, whereas my rat grade Garand's is a little rounded. So we'll take these targets home, measure them, and see what the actual numbers say. So here are our final scores from this experiment. So our CMP rat grade Garand had a longest point-to-point shot in the group of 5.5 inches. The perimeter of the shot group was 14.4 inches long. For the Fulton Arms Peerless Garand, the longest shot, the shot points, was 5 inches with a perimeter of 11.9 inches. And for the match grade AR, the longest point-to-point shots were 3.5 inches from each other, with a perimeter of 8.7 inches. Alright, so conclusion from this experiment and this comparison. All three rifles shot groups that would have been within the black or the 10 ring of the NRA 200-yard target. So they're all well capable of competing in a service rifle or high-power rifle match. Though I probably would stick with my AR for a primary gun. Both the Garands performed well. For the money, the rat grade CMP did pretty well. Definitely the Peerless Garand is a very beautiful rifle. Trigger pull is phenomenal. Stock has no plane at all. I think at the long yard, 600 yards or further, the Peerless definitely would probably hold better groups. But at 100 yards, there wasn't much difference. And I think shooting 200 and 300 yards, both Garands would perform just about the same. If you want a really pretty rifle, definitely get the Peerless. If you want a rifle to go compete with, you probably go with something a little bit cheaper, but Fulton Arms definitely put their time and effort into making a very nice rifle. So there's my comparisons. If you got any questions, please look at the contact information below. Thanks.